Welcome to Learned and Go-Go, the podcast. My name is Sydney. I am your host, and I am also the author of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go, How a Preacher's Daughter Pole Danced Her Way to Finding Her True Self. I am super psyched to be with you guys again tonight. Hopefully the power stays on. We are having a wicked thunderstorm again here. It's been that way the last few days, so we're going to hopefully get through the hour and have a great time. Hey, Mortimer is here, and Lizzie is here, and Anne is here. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on with me tonight. I hope you have had a really fun week since we last met. I know I have. I was actually really excited to get away for a few days this past weekend, and I got to hang out with Anne and her husband, Johnny, who are my buddies, and we had so much fun. I'll make sure that I have clearance to tell the funny story of the golf cart incident this weekend. But it was so much fun. All right. So Severian is here too. Hey. I did. I got all dolled up. Yes. I got a new foundation. This is going to be like boring talk. But the one that I always had for summer, they don't sell that shade anymore. So I'm like, all right, I'll try to go with a little bit of a darker one. And that came out super light. So I'm like, okay. So I went a little darker again. I looked like, the hell's her name? Helena Bottom Carter when I was getting ready. Cause like I had my hair was like, whoa, I looked like freaking Harry Potter. Who does she play? Beatrix? Something like that. That's who I looked in the mirror before I had like the eyes and the lips on. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool, but kind of scary. So that's, trying new things. Why not, right? I know I have some really awesome effects people in my comments right now. Keith just hopped on too. Hey, Keith. So glad you hopped on here. And Luna Projects is here too. And Rebecca, oh my God, you guys are warming my heart. Thank you so much. Yes, Bellatrix. That's what I meant. Bellatrix. Bellatrix Lestrange. Can you guys hear that? I said her name, it went. So, yeah, and Kyler is here too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, good news and not so good news. I'm sorry about the not so good news, but yay for good news. If you would like to share with us, of course, you can in the comments. Anybody that has anything that they want to promote, anything they want to share, you guys are always welcome to use my comments to boost yourselves. Like I like to say, all ships rise. So any way that we can support each other, let us know. I'm always happy to share. I thought I saw somebody else in the comments that I didn't say hi to yet, but maybe not. Keith said, I found out I'm Black. There's a story there. There has to be a story behind that one. But if you just hopped on in the comments, first of all, I'm going to pop my website up here. This is where you can get my book. It's available in paperback and ebook. If you've already gotten it, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, please, please write reviews. Rate it 5 stars. That would be wonderful, please. I appreciate that. But also, like I was saying, we're having wicked thunderstorms right now. So should I just disappear, that means either the internet or the power or both went out. But I wanted to come on with you guys because I have so much fun on our Wednesdays. So I wanted to make sure that we all got together. Luna's asking how hot it is here. So I'm going to go to my favorite weather app, which is called What the Forecast. It says, like Matt Lauer, this rain can suck it. And it is currently 77 degrees. It was close to 90 earlier. So at least the rain's dropping the temperature. So that's a good thing. But yeah, if you've never heard of What the Forecast, you can decide if you want it to use like F-bombs and like naughty talk, or it does have like a more censored version too, but it's really fun. It's just a free app. I'm not associated with it at all. I just like it. So, giving some shout outs there. Good news, AC gets fixed next Wednesday. So poor Kyler has not had air conditioning for a while, and it's been very hot. In fact, maybe Luna was asking Kyler and not me, but I was talking about weather, so I thought she was asking me. Sorry about that. Um, oh, thank you, Mortimer. Mortimer says 5 stars isn't enough of praise. I really appreciate that. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the book because that's why I wanted to write it, was to entertain and hopefully, like help some people too. Why not, right? Help doesn't have to be like a boring lecture at school. It can be in funny stories. So that was a lot of fun. Lizzie says we've had some crazy random thunderstorms, but thankfully not the flooding some parts of Texas are. It's scary, and now it's in New Mexico too. There's flooding in New Mexico too. So hopefully, there won't be any more of that going on because too many people are losing their lives. But you can't control Mother Nature. Oh, I'm sorry, Kyler. The bad news is I might have to quit my job. They're cutting my hours again. Well, I hope that you can find a job that's a better fit, and that it's one that you enjoy and that you can find that quickly. So the universe is telling you this was not the job for you. So keep looking, have faith, and, there's another job out there that's a better fit. Let's see. Luna says, I love you and your book. Thank you. I love you too, sweetie. And I'm so glad you love my book. That is awesome. Luna's cousin lives in Kerrville. He's okay, but it's bad there. That's scary. It's so scary. Let me see. We got so many comments. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just love you guys so much. Thank you for always hopping on here. I really, really, really appreciate all of you. So I feel like I don't say that enough. So I want to say it again. And I'm going to share this out on my Sydnee page. And then I'm going to close my Facebook tab because I might start getting messages on there and then it'll ding, 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 ding. So let's see. Mortimer says, I agree with Sid 200%. Skull, you got this, brother. Absolutely. And Lizzie says, oh my God, Luna, I'm so glad your cousin is safe. That's scary stuff out there. It's one of those things that's like, unless you live in a place that floods, like a lot of people just think it's water. They don't understand the power behind that amount of water and the damage that it can do. We have just a small creek that runs behind our neighbor's house. It's like the way that the properties are in my neighborhood's kind of like a pizza. Like we all have a slice. So it's where the center of the pizza would be is where the creek goes through. And it's lower than all of the yards and it just fills up. Like right now, if I went out there, it would be really full. And that's nothing. That's not even a spit compared to what the people in Texas and New Mexico are dealing with. So definitely sending good juju out to all of them because that's so scary. Let's see here. Luna said, yeah, he was a sheriff, but retired. It's bad. So Severian says, I've been looking for a job for many, many months. It makes me so angry because we were on the cusp of a boom. And then our fellow Americans elected an insane donkey who wants to destroy the country. I have noticed a lot of people having trouble finding jobs. And a lot of places say now hiring. So I'm curious if the hiring sites pay per listing. So they encourage companies to list jobs that aren't actually available. I don't understand why else there seems to be a bazillion positions available, yet none of them are actually hiring. It makes no sense to me at all. Skull says, I'm a quality assurance for a local courthouse. Okay. Lizzie says, I saw a video out of New Mexico where it flash flooded and a double wide mobile home was floating down the street like a boat. I saw that too, because it was crazy. Because if you pick, it was like the going this way, like you would assume it would get turned and go down this way, but it was like the whole front of the friggin' house was like, that That was nuts. That was nuts. And like all of those kids that got killed in Texas, insane. Absolutely insane. I just, you have to respect Mother Nature because she's like freaking bipolar. There's the North Pole and the South Pole. Get it? Bipolar. No, but seriously, she's got menopause like the rest of us, I think. Craziness. Let's see here. So Severian says, I'm reading an ancient history book, pre-biblical. The very first wars in the Middle East involved flooding. One kingdom would divert a river to fix their flooding into somebody else, so then war. I could see how that could bring on a war. So let's see here. Luna's asking, was it for the courthouse, like go over paperwork or listen to calls? And Skull says, I clean the courthouse and make it look pretty. Nice, I like that. Let's see. Lizzie says, a couple of reasons. One being bigger tech companies can claim there are no qualified Americans so they can get those special visas to import people for less pay. That makes sense. It's so wrong, but it makes sense. And she also says smaller companies will cast a net to gauge the amount of responses or demand for work to see how little they can get away with paying people. I believe in karma. And I really, really, really hope that all of these people who are screwing over people who just want to work and be paid what they should be paid for it, I hope they get what's coming to them because it's not right. It's so not right. Mortimer says, this dusty old Victorian dead man will tell all of our futures tonight. They will be great and bright and full of love. Thank you, Mortimer. Awesome. I love a dusty fortune teller. That's awesome. Let's see. So Severian says they don't even need the H-1Bs anymore. We're being remoted out of our jobs. Yeah, and I think I know what you mean by that. As somebody that works remotely, my job has always been remote though, and it's not, but I could very easily, because of that, just be replaced. It's not like I have any sort of special skill set for mine. I'm just very grateful to have it, and that I've always been able to have it remote even before COVID. So very, very grateful for that. Mortimer says, I saw it in one of my dusty balls I own. And Skull says, Mortimer, will I ever set of skeleton keys? Do you mean will I ever have a set of skeleton keys? Skeleton keys are cool. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. She said, oh, Sid, you're irreplaceable. You're so sweet. Right back at you. I love you guys. Okay, yeah, Skull clarified, will I ever get a set of skeleton keys? So when Mortimer looks into his dusty balls or into the dusty, you know what I mean. Looking at his dusty balls is Lizzie's job. Just kidding. But I'm cracking myself up. I am so again with the insomnia, so excuse me if I get a little stupid, goofy, slap happy. Because it's just been one of them couple nights, man. And last night we had the storms and everything, but I slept so good. And then my 3-year-old dog had to get up and go to the bathroom at 1. So I let her out, and then I just laid in bed staring at the ceiling. I'm like, man, if I could go to sleep and stay asleep, I'd be golden. But once I wake up in the middle of the night, I am done. Let's see. Mortimer said, not look, but kind of enough to polish. Is that kind enough to polish your balls? Hilarious. Oh, and Skull Mortimer said, skeleton keys are obtainable in time. I guess that's, is that a joke of you're going to be a skeleton one day, maybe? Little morbid crypt humor going on there, Mortimer. Luna says, so you can suck a taint? This conversation is spiraling so fast. I love it. So before we get any further, I'm going to give y'all a Tatiana. And if you are new to the show, when someone says Tatiana, that means you got to take a drink or a smoke. It could be alcohol, it could be water, whatever, whatever you are into, you do you. We do not judge here. So Tatiana to you all out there. Um, yeah, I feel like I had some things to talk about tonight, but they're gone. They're out of my head. So I had so much fun with Johnny and Annie over the weekend. They were at Mountain Wizard Tattoo getting new tattoos. If you guys don't follow them on Facebook, look them up because Annie's tattoo is phenomenal. Like Johnny's is super cool too, but Annie's is phenomenal. I just got it. Say it again. Phenomenal. So fucking cool. So Dave and I and our youngest are going back up in a couple weeks to see Slink Skull for our tattoos, and we're super excited about that. But we had so much fun just sitting around the campfire and BSing, and it was a really good time. So I want to know something non-screen related that you like to do to have a good time. Okay, we all know. So outside of that, I'm just talking about, like when you're not online, when you're not playing video games, when you're not watching movies or TV or something, like what is an activity that you like to do? Because I absolutely love sitting around a fire pit and talking with my friends. Like to me, it's so fun to just, there's something relaxing about, the campfire, just like getting zoned into there and stuff like that. So wait a minute. So you can, who's, all right. Mortimer said, who said taint? Luna said Sid forgot. Did I forget a taint? Oh, wait a minute. I did forget. There's like a little tickle in one of my brain cells. Remind me, please. Because it's like, it's back there. It's tickling my brain. Yeah, we were talking about if one can suck a taint. Oh, yeah, we were. And I think, I think as your partner gets older, it's probably easier to do. Oh my goodness. Yes, Luna says amazing tattoo that Annie has, and Anne says I love it so much. Lizzie says, I mocked up a super cute tattoo idea I have. It's a jackalope with phoenix wings. Oh my God, so cute. Just need to save up for it. I wish you guys lived up here so you could go see Slink Skull. She is so awesome. Luna says, I love campfires. Watching the stars. Yes, love that too. And so Severian does have a phoenix tattoo. So super cool. Mortimer says grilling for the family, even though the heat gets me in the summer. Yeah, absolutely. And his mustache tickles him. So I'm done. Okay, yeah. I'm going to take this as permission to tell the story because Annie says one of us decided to take a roll in a ditch. So I can't help it. It was so fucking funny. So, like I said, we were up at the mountain house and it's not that far from the tattoo place. So since Johnny and Annie were getting tattoos, we're like, we'll go, hey, Johnny's here too. We're telling the story. They came over and slept over that night after they got their tattoos done. So when they get to the house, we're like, let's take the golf cart out for a ride. And it's dark by now, so we were going to the one spot in the community. It was closed. So we're like, all right, we'll go to the one beach by the lake. It's like really nice. They have a boat ramp and beach and playground and all this stuff. So we get, we get there. And like I said, it's dark and Johnny had to go pee. So he's like, I'm just going to go find it. And so Dave was like, go further that way. And Dave was going that way at the lake. But like I said, it's dark. So Johnny went further the way he was already going, figuring that way meant that. So Dave and Annie and I are talking and we just hear this noise. And I'm like, what the hell was that? So I'll put Johnny's comment up because it explains it. I fall down and go splat the other night. There's a ditch that runs into the lake. It's and he went ass over teacups. Thankfully landed in a way he didn't hurt himself. That's I can laugh about it because he didn't get hurt. So we wind up going back to the house and like he said he was covered in muck, but like I couldn't see him. It's dark, so not I'm like, ah, it can't be that bad. So he gets out of the golf cart and I look at the seat and I put it on my Facebook. It was covered in mud. We had to hose him down. It, but the sound that it made when you fell in the ditch, my friend, yes, and you didn't even get angry, which was amazing. Like because you had to get a shower. Like I mean it was a lot after the long day that you had. So I appreciate that you were a good sport, but man, you were covered in muck. And you want a free pair of flip-flops from my husband to wear around the campfire. Um but yeah, that was so if you have ever fallen in a ditch, down a hill, in a crack, put it in the comments. Tell your fall down splat story. We're going to make that a topic of discussion in the comments. I've fallen so many times in my life. Um, let's see. So Mortimer is asking, was it the goofy scream or bugs? it was, it was, and he says it was awesome. The sound, I can't describe it. It was the oof mixed with the like splat mixed with I can't even describe the noise. But I think it was like kind of rock sliding too. Like I said, I'm just glad that you weren't hurt. Um I heard, yes, I'm so sorry you had to stop and buy an $80 pair of Adidas on the way home. I'm sorry. Kyler says, "Oh boy, I have a story." All right, let's see. Kyler's going to share his story soon. Lizzie says, "Once Mortimer and I were out visiting someone and I misstepped off the stairs, fell right on my butt and bounced twice." Oh no. You got to be careful. Your butt's already got a crack in it. Oh no, Annie says I fell backwards over a parking block when I was younger, skinned my whole leg. Ouch. I'm sorry. Luna said, did, did you make this up? Tripped over an armadillo running while drunk through the woods at Lake Brownwood in Texas. Now that's a story. I've tripped over all kinds of things in my life, but I can say that I have never ever tripped over an armadillo. That that's a time and place thing. So, oh no, I was teasing you. I 100% believe you. But that's like, wow, that's crazy. I'm trying to think because, like, I'm kind of remembering a Severian fall down story. Um, I'm gonna text him because if I'm right, I want to have permission to share this story. Uh, let's see here. I don't remember why I walked into the kitchen, but here's one from like 20 years ago that popped into my head. Let's see here. All right, check your text there. Oh, there, I was texting you. Patience, sir. Let's see here. Lizzie says Texas speed bump indeed. Annie just falls on ice. Yeah, that hurts really, 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 really bad. Um, I remember when I was pregnant with my older daughter, I fell on the ice outside my parents' house. I had made it real careful across the whole yard. And then, like, right before I got to their front steps, I didn't even see it. I just hit this patch of ice and it was like, boom. And thankfully, I was okay. And so was she. But that's scary when you're like, got a baby in your belly and you fall down splat. But she's all good. Let's see here. That was the only one I've seen alive until years later. I had one in my yard in Three Rivers, Texas. They're so cute. Armadillos are adorable. Lizzie says, so we were out in Waco filming Killer Cocks, and one of the picnic tents got picked up by the wind and started cartwheeling toward the parking lot. And there goes Mortimer running after it. Be careful. Be careful. Anything that has like like a pole, like a post. Sometimes down the shore, like every year you hear about somebody that the beach umbrella gets picked up by the wind and starts cartwheeling down the beach and like stabs somebody in the chest. You gotta be careful with that shit. I should tell the story. It's much better told than typed. Okay. Thank you for the permission, because I want to make sure before I tell it. Let's see here. So Mortimer says, I took off running at warp 9 to catch them before they hit people's cars, so I ended up front flipping on 2 fingers and dislocated my 2 fingers and my hip. Ow. Owies. I am so sorry. Tyler says, so we had a pond in the backyard, 8-foot hole. All the fish died. Oh, and we decided to fill it up with dirt. First, we had to empty it and get rid of the tarp. It was still wet. My dumbass decided to jump and slipped, fell, and got mud everywhere. Oh, no. I like how Lizzie's commenting on Mortimer's tumble and dislocation with, looked super badass, though. I mean, at the end of the day, that's, you get a good story and you look badass. So that's cool. So the Sosavarian story, I'm trying to think who we were even with, because I'm thinking it's the person from Maryland, but I could be remembering that wrong. Anyway, we were in a parking lot, and I can't even remember where we were. All I remember is Sosavarian falls, but in the process, completely lost his pants. It was like, whoop, boom. And then whipped them back up like that. Like that was pretty impressive. I must say the speed in which they came back up. But I just remember like a fall and a pants fall simultaneously, which is pretty impressive. That was, blacked out. Oh, you got them pants back up though. I don't remember you blacking out. Or did I black out after I saw you with no pants? I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. Yeah, I know you've fallen quite a few times. Let's see. Aw, Johnny. Said, honestly, the hardest I've ever fallen was when I fell in love with Anne Marie Harley. Oh my God, you guys. I love you guys. You're so cute. That's awesome. And I know it's true. Yeah, like I fell in first grade at the roller skating party, and I fell like with my arm behind me, and I broke it in multiple places from my shoulder to my wrist, and I broke my elbow, and they told me that I'd never be able to straighten my arm again, and I don't like people telling me what to do, so I just kept it going until I could get it straight again, because I was like, screw you. Little 6-year-old Sid was like, screw you, I'm going to straighten my arm out. But the funny thing was that was 2 days before I had surgery to get tubes in my ears. So I wound up back in the hospital with my arm in like a full cast getting surgery. Because, make it a party. Let's see. Oh, no. That's not the story that I'm thinking of. The not safe for the internet yelling is a different story. No, I'm thinking of when we were with those people and you lost your pants. You didn't lose your pants that night. Johnny fell off a M1, is that M1A1 tank? Yikes. I fell off a cheerleading pyramid, broke my back, and they took my captain's title away. That was some bullshit. That was in high school. Tanya, welcome. She says, I trip on air and fall upstairs all the time. Thanks, Oliver and Ailey. Yeah, I do that too. I trip up the steps all the time. 100%. Yes, I did. I fractured a vertebrae in my back. I don't want to act like I snapped my spine or anything, but I fractured a vertebrae. I got a nice little hairline fracture in my lower back from that. Yep, yep. And Mortimer says, I've been hit by things more than falling. Yeah, that too. I fell, well, I don't, it wasn't like a trip and fall. So, again, when I was little, I always wanted to be like my big brother. So I always would emulate what my big brother was doing. We had a, I believe it was a 6 foot fence in the backyard. It was the wooden kind that have the little points, you know, stock something fence, stockade fence. Is that what it's called? It's like the wood with the pointy at the top. So my older brother took like a pipe and put it in the corner so he could do pull-ups on it. And where that was, we had a concrete pad. I guess there used to be a shed there or something, but it wasn't there anymore. It was just the pad in the back corner. So he, would put the thing up there to do that. Well, I wanted to be like my big brother, and I couldn't do pull-ups, so I got a milk crate and I put it there, and I like got myself up, and I was hanging upside down by my knees, and then I slipped and my face went through the milk crate and into the concrete pad, and I just exploded my nose. I broke my nose. Yep. But at least it don't look too bad now. Yeah, it's all good. But you gotta just, be careful or keep, make sure you keep track of these stories. So let's see. Oh, good night, Skull. Thanks for hopping on. I hope you have a good night. We love you. And yes, Tanya, cats, they make you trip up the steps. My dogs do that too. So they'll just like get under your feet and zoop. Let's see. Lizzie says, when my cousin visited, we were at the mall and she tripped, looked back and said, watch out for that nothing there. Oh my goodness. Oh no. They look like such big, strong hands. I love the never ending story. Hey, Cody. I'm so glad you're here too. Cody says, I grew up in a shop. I've been brunt cut. Had metal shavings in my eye. Fell in a kerosene heater when I was 7 years old. Broke my ankle trick-or-treating. My body hates me. Ow. I hope you're doing better now. I know you have a boo-boo now, too. Johnny says, when I was a kid, I sneezed and farted simultaneously, and it made me fall down a flight of stairs and landed upside down on my head. Ouch. But, man, if you sneeze and fart at the same time, you might take a screenshot of yourself. I'm glad you're okay. My Lord, landed upside down on your head. Horrible. Mortimer says, worst thing I think I've been hit with was a metal bat. Ouch. Yes. Ow. Ow. That just makes me hurt thinking about that. Did it go bong? Because those things are wicked. Luna says, so my best friend Paula was in front of me going down courthouse stairs, and she just skipped the last couple stairs and crashed. Ouch. She was okay, but we were both dying with laughter. Those are when you know you're okay, when you like just crack up, because it's like, okay, sometimes you just have to crack up when something terrible like that happens. Let's see. So Severian says, I landed on my ass in the drained oil pan. Oh, wait, I missed the first part of this. I once jumped on a pogo stick while my brother-in-law was changing his oil and landed on my ass in the drained oil pan. And my sister just happened to be walking by and saw it. We almost had to take her to the hospital from laughing. Yeah, I can see that. I would have laughed if it was my brother. I would have laughed. Mortimer says, respect for the hardcore trick-or-treating, Cody. Oh, your mom laughed when you did. Oh, Johnny, ouch. But yeah, there's like, gravity is not just a good idea, folks. It is the law. So it will take you down every chance it gets. I did that like a mega fall down the church steps at my dad's church when we lived in Burlington. It was a church from the 1600s, I believe, because it was when Burlington was founded in like 1660 something. Um, and it was from around there, and they were like beautiful architecture and stuff. But I went ass over teacups down the steps and got to the bottom and just jumped up and went ta-da, because like there was a mega gasp from everybody that watched me fall. So I just kind of played it off for them. Let's see. Mortimer says, I did jump off a big doghouse at my grandparents' house. I went feet first through it. I guess that's an aquarium. Hey, ouch. That sounds horrible. I hope you didn't get cut up too bad. Yikes. Yeah, I can't think of any other, like, from when I was a kid. I was always hurting myself as a kid. We moved around a lot, and my parents said they always knew where the ER was every time we moved, because within 2 weeks I would have to go for one reason or another. But in my book, Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go, I tell a story about the one place where I worked, and I was I was imbibing on some adult beverages, and I used to do this move. Like, I had this routine every set. It's the same. When I went back to work out 20 years later, I did the same thing. It's like muscle memory in my head. So the second verse of the song, I'd either slide down the mirror, slide down the pole, whatever, to the stage, crawl, 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 and then I could like flip and do like legs, do, boo, boo, boo. And then depending on the size of the stage, I would do a backflip to get back up again, because I couldn't figure out how to gracefully get off the floor without doing this backflip. Well, I was half in the can, and I flipped right off the side of the stage, landed in the bar well. Sorry, I have so many mosquito bites from Monday night from the fire pit. My belly, I look like I have leopard spots on. It's just all mosquito bites. I'm so freaking itchy. So if you see me scratching, it's not cooties, it's mosquitoes. Hey, cuz! Angela, thank you for hopping on. Oh, you literally meant you went through 3 aquariums, Mortimer? Ah, they were stacked on top of each other. It was 3 of them. Ay, yay. Holy moly. Lizzie says, my sisters and I were playing badminton, and our 3-year-old cousin was watching. The birdie went straight up, and we yelled, watch out. Cousin looked up and got dotted right on her forehead. We laughed so hard. I would too. And she says, my littlest sister is trying to climb the hill to get to the bathroom, and we hear I peed while she's still laughing. We were on the ground laughing so hard it was painful. That's hilarious. I'm so glad you made it. So we are telling each other stories of when you fell down splat, because my friend Johnny did that this past weekend up the mountains in a ditch and got covered in muck. So I know you have some fell down splat stories. And that must have been a mess. Oh yeah. 3 aquariums. I misread that at first. But yeah, so we're all telling stories about times where we've fallen, or it's kind of getting hit with things too. I can't believe, did I ever fall going out to lunch with you? Because like I kind of feel like, oh, when I fell with you was when we were doing the photo shoot. So my cousin was kind enough, she's a photographer, was kind enough to come to the bar where I was working out when I started dancing again as a workout, to take some promo photos for the book. I'm going to just plop my website back up here for funsies. So you can get your copy at learninggogo.com. So she's actually have the video of this still. She's on the stage taking pictures, and I'm like, oh, I can hang upside down by my knees and hold the book. So we're doing that, but I couldn't hold it that long. So it's like, take the pic, take the pic, take the pic. So I put my hands down, and I go to do like a walkover out of it, but I was wearing new heels, and they were still slippery. So you see my foot go out from under me, and I just clocked my kneecap on the stage so hard. It hurt so bad. but it's a funny video. So that was ouchie. Mortimer says, my grandma was more mad than I had ever seen because I scared her. I bet. I absolutely can imagine that. It says, I've got 2 scars that are on the back of my legs. I got extremely lucky. Yeah, you did, because that could have been like super deep glass cut. Ay, ay, ay. Lizzie says, tales of misadventure. I love that. That is so true. Angela says, like the time I almost fell at work because I put my foot in an aisle blocker. Then when I left, the guys asked what happened, and I demonstrated by putting my foot back up on the blocker and actually falling like that. Yeah, like that. I can totally see that happening. Yeah, I bet you do remember that. That was like the kneecap crack heard round the world. That was so loud. And the funny thing was, I was trying to keep my face covered because when I first published the book, I wasn't going to show my face. It was going to be like a secret who the author was. You know, it was going to be a big secret. I don't know why I thought that, because like I was too damn excited to keep it a secret and not be like, it's me, you know. So the pictures at first were all like how the photo is on, you know, like the drawing is on the cover, but like I was holding the book in front of my face, you know, like on the pole and stuff like that. So the video, if you watch it, I managed to go over, I hit the floor and I kept my hands in front of my face. So I was able to post the video when it happened without giving away my face, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I'm sorry I scared you. I scared me too, but then I started laughing, and then I thought I was going to pee my pants from from laughing. Oh my goodness. Mortimer says, honestly, I was surprised I didn't fly like Superman. That was my goal. I was like 6 or 7. Yeah, 100%. I think we all tried to do that when we were kids. And it's a good thing that we all lived through our Superman phase. So Severian says, I can't believe I didn't think of this one earlier. I had a bike basket for carrying my dog on my truck bicycle. Mm-hmm. And our maiden voyage, there's video. I sprained both my wrists, making sure I didn't crush my beloved little Katie as we went head over heels on my bike. I remember when that happened. That was so scary. Like, I wasn't there when it happened, but when you told me, that was so scary. And you said, I'm surprised I didn't fall when we did that. I am too, because that was like, I mean, it was a good sized stage, but like, it was slippery and there was, you know, there was no guardrail. So I'm glad you didn't fall. Tanya says, I was 17 weeks pregnant with my oldest and tripped on my own left foot, went flying, and my only thought was my baby. Twisted myself in midair so I would land on my back and not my belly. And that's how my older brother found out, and later the rest of my extended family, about my pregnancy. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you were okay. Because that's like what I was saying about when I fell when I was pregnant with my older daughter. Like, it's so scary, and it's crazy how quick your instincts pop in when you're like pregnant to just like protect your belly. Is like, you don't even think about it. It's just, whoa. So glad you're okay. My goodness. Mortimer says, wanted to be Superman. Now I look like Bizarro. That's funny. Yeah, we used to try and jump off of things, and we used to, that's not what I meant to do. We used to like try and sled down the steps. I had one of those like Get in Shape Girl gym mats. It wasn't the brand, but you know, like the gymnastic mats that so many of us had in the 80s for home. And we'd get at the top of the steps and we'd like fold ourselves in the mat and go flying down the steps, but the couch was right at the bottom, so you just go smack into the back of the couch, and then my mom would yell. But it was fun. Ooh, goodness. So Severian says, I saw a girl fall on her head on the pole from too high. She got knocked out for a sec. I bet she did. I mean, I've fallen and not landed on my head, thankfully, but that's a hard fall, and the floors are not comfy in any bar like. Oh God. Let's see. Oh, she had a concussion, but luckily she was eventually okay and got better from the things that made her fall. That's good. I just fell because I'm a klutz. I still fall all the time. Angela says, I tripped on a trailer hitch when I was 8 months pregnant, fell on my stomach, and so that's why Alan is the way he is. That's not nice. Oh, goodness. Lizzie says, any fall you can learn from. Dang, yeah. And Mortimer says, I was at a loud concert and a chick fell off her boyfriend's shoulders and we all heard her hit the concrete. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, that's awful. There's nothing like that melon hitting concrete sound. It just, ooh, that's bad. Yep, exactly. I was going to say Alan is awesome. 100%. But that's funny that you said that. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. Anybody else? Oh yeah. That concrete one makes my heart stop. Absolutely. Because that was the other thing with when I broke the vertebrae in my back, I got whiplash from my head bouncing off the ground and got a concussion. And it was like, because it was October, but the ground was like hard, like frozen. And it was, let's see here. Tanya said he cracked up laughing, but felt bad about laughing after the shock of finding out baby sister was having a baby of her own. My mom took me to the ER. I had some bruising on my back and it was sore for a few weeks, but baby was okay. Well, that's good. And I'm glad it was just some bruising and nothing worse. Oh, it was a Korn concert and it was crazy loud. Yeah, Korn is really, really loud. So funny story about falling in Korn. When I went to the Family Values tour back in 98, I think it was 98. I always think it was 96, but maybe it was 98. We were out in the parking lot and a whole bunch of people were doing balloons and they go to pass it to me and I'm like, no thanks. And my friend's like, why don't you do the nitrous balloons? And as soon as he asked me, this chick is walking across the parking lot, takes a big on the balloon and then face first smacks onto the asphalt. And I went, that's why. Like the timing was perfect, but it was that same like, ugh, goodness. Oh, no worries about late comments. It's all good. Thank you for listening while you're scooping the litter boxes. I hope it makes it a little more fun to do the litter, listening to our crazy stories. So Severian says, amazing the stories I hadn't thought of in ages from bouncing these around with everyone else's stories. Absolutely. And Korn's coming around again, Luna. Have they been by you? Because who were they touring with? 9 Inch Nails? No. Pantera? They were just here and I wanted to see them, but my concert budget has been spent for the time being. So I wasn't able to go, but they put on a really, really great show. Like John Davis does all of the gravelly stuff and all that. He does that live. He plays bagpipes, like really, really good show. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And seeing them, like it was Korn, Limp Bizkit, Orgy. Who am I missing? Because it was like Ice Cube. I think that was with Rammstein. Yeah, it was because they light everything on fire, which is like crazy. Inside the arena, they had fireworks going off. Like it was insanity, but it was so fun. It was such a great show. But yeah, I haven't seen them since then, but from what I've heard, they still put on a fantastic fucking show. So that's cool. All right, we have 10 minutes left, guys. Do you want to play Pick a Page? Do you want to do the questions again? Let me know what you want to do. First one to answer in the comments is the winner. So we can do that. And this has been so fun. I'm so glad that we've all survived our falls and our smacks and our metal bats to the head and all of that. And pogo sticks into oil pans. All right, Mortimer is the winner with questions. All right, let me go into the photography portion of my StreamYard. So they literally changed everything between last week and this week. the complete layout backstage in it is all different. And I'm like, when I went to get set up for tonight, I'm like, what am I even looking at? This is so crazy. All right. So if you all can see, it says pick a number and I'll answer honestly. So it's numbers 1 through 40. And if it's one that we answered last week, we'll pick another one. But while we're waiting for a number, Angela says Alan put a ramp against the garage when he was about 5 or 6. He was going to jump his bike over the garage. He wildly coyoted into the side of the garage. I was inside. He was fine. Oh my goodness. All right. So that's the kind of shit we did. That's why I have to laugh. All right. So Luna's picking number 1. And the question for number 1 is height. Oh, let me go over here to the microphone. I am 5'6". Feel free to put your height in the answers as well. I think I'm a pretty average height. So not too short, not too tall. Mortimer picked 26. Celebrity crush. Okay, so I'm just going to put this down while I'm talking to you because I feel like I'm hiding behind the thing. So in my book, I talk about the celebrity passes. So it was Chris Cornell, rest in peace. Chester Bennington, rest in peace. Like I feel bad, like the celebrities that I crush on all wind up passing. But huge one is Scarlett Johansson. Love her. I love Robert Downey Jr., but only as Tony Stark. And like Tom Hiddleston, but only as Loki. So it's like the character more than the celebrity. And then there's other ones like Jeff Tate. Absolutely love. Put a bag on his head, sing to me. Like, there's there's certain ones. So put your celebrity crushes in the comments. I want to hear what yours are. All right. Luna is 5'4". Oh, Mortimer's 6'2". All right. Lizzie's 5'5", used to be 5'6", but I lost an inch since high school. Okay. You're too young for that, ma'am. All right, so we have number 26. Number 26 is Celebrity Crush. Okay, that's the one we just did. Sorry. So then Luna picked 12. Current favorite song. I feel like you guys asked that last week. And I can't think of just one. I listen to music. It's so like my mood determines what my favorite song is that not even that day, but like that moment, like there's songs that when I'm in the mood, it like I will have it on repeat. I was listening to like Work Song by Hozier for like hours one day. And then like I'll turn around and it'll be, like I was listening to Smothered Life by Rothschild America. Like I'm all over the place. So if there's something that you're listening to on repeat right now, let me know. And I will check it out if I'm not familiar. All right. Mortimer's is Elvira. Yes. Did you see that, Johnny? Just reference to this past weekend. Luna Project says Jason Ackles. I don't know who that is. I'm going to have to look. I'm looking up Jason Ackles right now because I don't know who that is. Jason Ackles. Oh, okay. For Dean Winchester in Supernatural. Okay, I have yet to watch Supernatural, so I'm sorry. I'm like, I have such a list. I need to catch up with the rest of the world. Grace Jones has been my crush for ages. So Severian says Blondie. Absolutely. Debbie Harry's a hottie. And yes, Jeff Tate's voice. Just that voice. It's like goo. Like, he's just, I love that voice. Lizzie says, I keep running These Eyes by the Guess Who over and over in my head. I need to pull it up and listen to it already. That was stuck in my head the other day, I swear to God, and I don't know why. That's weird. Because it's not something that Is it in a commercial or something? Is that why we were both singing it? Because it popped into my head. That was in my head, and then there was shit. If I think it was like another random old song, but it wasn't like a rock song. It was just, if I think about it, I'll let you know. I can't think of it right now. And Angela says, and Brigitte Nielsen, I watched an unhealthy amount of Red Sonja as a kid. That's so funny because I still remember my pop-up must have had it. The Playboy she was in, and she had like a big fishnet all over her. That's all I think about when I think about Brigitte Nielsen. So yes. Luna Project says Dean Winchester, yes, from Supernatural. And The Boys. Really? Okay. Luna says Audrey Hepburn. One for Lizzie was Tony Todd. Yes. Agree. Just saw him in Final Destination. Oh, he's Evil Homelander's dad. Okay. Yeah, you did send it to me. These eyes. Let's see. Angela says, Grant and I keep passing various versions of Pink Pony Club back and forth. I love that song. Love it, love it, love it. Madeline Kahn, amazing. I love her. Gone way too soon. Way too soon. That song's going to drive me nuts. The one that I can't think of, because when Dave and I went away for our anniversary was when it first hopped into my head. And I'm like, why am I singing this song? And I forget I had it stuck in my head, and then I went to tell him what song was stuck in my head, and it disappeared, and I couldn't think of it for like 3 days, and then I remembered it, and now it's gone again. I can't think of it. Oh, it's going to drive me nuts. Lizzie said, one of my weirder celebrity crushes is Grace Jones. She absolutely terrifies me, but in a super hot kind of way. Yeah, see, you and Angela. 100%. The angular features, and like, she just looks like she would kick your ass in an amazingly fun fucking way. Like, she just, oh, yeah, she's got that energy. That's what it is. Grace Jones' energy is amazing. It was not playing Holiday Road Griswold style, but now I will be singing that. Thank you for that. All right, let's see here. Let me go back up and see if I missed any numbers. I think 12 was Celebrity Crush. So let's do a couple more before we are out of time. If you pick between 1 and 40, and we'll see what other questions we can answer. Let's see. Holiday Road. Okay. I'm going to be sending you some like from across the miles, because that's going to be stuck in my head. All right, 23 says Mortimer, which is first impression on me. Oh, since you asked, Mortimer, so sweet. I loved our interview. When I met you the first time was for the Necrofiends of the Frozen Dead interview, and I just knew we were going to be friends. Like, because you just had amazing energy, so fun to talk to, so easy to talk to. So that was my first impression, and I just then and now super excited for Legend of Bloody Bones. Like, super cool first impression, 100%. And I can't go through and get everybody with that one, but since you asked it, that's why you got the answer for that. But feel free to, first impression each other in the comments, because I think you all have impressions of each other after all this time we've spent together. Let's see. 18 says Luna, which is biggest fear. My biggest fear is something happening to my kids. Like, that scares me to death. Something happening to my kids, something happening to my husband. Like, that scares me more than anything. I used to, part with a nasty little secret of one that's not as serious. I used to be absolutely terrified of two things: bridges, and when you live in Jersey and go to Pennsylvania a lot, that's a very inconvenient fear to have. But we used to have these like little bridges where we'd go into New Hope, Pennsylvania, really cool little funky town. I would scream at the top of my lungs the entire way over the bridge. That was annoying enough. But then when you get further down south, like the bridges to get are like 2 miles long, I would scream my head off, like terror the entire time. And it's because when we were younger, I think we were up in Massachusetts, and there was this huge, like super tall bridge, that you walk over and you'd look down, and it was like in this gorge, it was really, really far down. And I was leaning over looking, and my brother came up behind me and did one of those, rah, like where you push somebody and pull them back real quick. And it took me decades. I'm fine now, but decades to get over that fear. Um, and the other one was I had a clown fear, and I finally made myself watch enough scary clown shit that I got over it. But that was like, what do they call that? Exposure therapy. Because I'm like, this is dumb. Like, people would send me something funny with a clown, and I would like freak out and have a panic attack. So I'm like, this is dumb. And I like made myself like get over it. But again, it took a couple of years to get over that one because I was like very, very scared. So let's see. Lizzie says, my first impression of Mortimer was, wow, he's hot. Wait, why is he in my car? Okay, this is weird. What do I do? There's this story. And Mortimer says, oh, I am easy. Thank you kindly. And you were an absolute blessing in my first interview ever. I love that I got to be your first interview ever because it was a fun interview. And I'm glad you had fun too, because I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I'm so glad we're friends. That was awesome. Angela says, same fear, that and drowning. My not so serious, but still very real fear, grasshoppers. I hate them. Nothing should jump and fly at the same time. I don't think I ever knew that about you. They're like sprickets. A lot of people are scared of sprickets. But when I found out that they jump on you because they're blind, then I kind of felt bad for them. So I'm not really scared of them anymore. I just go, oh, you poor blind, stupid bug. All right, so Severian pick 29, and this will be our last question of the evening. Number 29 is secret talent. Okay. You must not have been on here last week when we did secret talent. I'll see if I can do it again, and then we'll pick one more number because we did do that one last week. And you know that I can do this so Severian, that I can go. Like, it's stupid, but I can move. I think I'm still moving my eyes independently. I can't see myself when I'm doing it. Oh, I think I pulled something. I'm going to have a contact on my brain. Mortimer says, mine are heights mainly. Okay, yeah, definitely message the joke after the show. But let's see. Yeah, I remember you doing that years ago, I think. I stopped doing it for years because I got scared. Yeah, and Tanya says cicadas, they're the stupidest bugs ever. They're huge. Blech. All right, somebody pick a number between 1 and 40, and we'll do one more because that was a repeat question. And if you have a secret talent, please share because sharing is caring. And I want to know what y'all are talented at. That's a secret. Secret society. Secret society. I have to watch Cruel Intentions again because I say that all the time and I haven't seen the movie in decades. Oh, June bugs. Yeah, they're gross too. We get like wolf spiders, a lot of wolf spiders. And I hate stink bugs. Only because they get like we have I'm pointing like you guys can see my lamp here. It's like the floor lamps that you can get at like Target or Walmart that have like the two lights and they have the plastic. So you get a stink bug in there and it sounds like a helicopter's landing in your house. It's just like so the but the wasps are the worst because they're just bullies and they're horrible, horrible things. Hate them. But all right. Well, my friends, I'm going to pick one. Let's see. I'm going to go with Okay, we did that one before because I was going to do a quote you try to live by. Um, let's see here. These are all kind of similar. And you guys know, like, any pets, you know that. Um, Pet peeves. What are your pet peeves? Stick them in the comments and we will go with that as our last question for tonight. What is a pet peeve of yours? And let's see here. Angela's secret talent, I can dance. I'm sorry. I can dance when grasshoppers bombard me. I like read the rest of it and cracked up before I could get it out because the mental picture. I'm dying just picturing like, like hysterical. Mortimer says, a topic for next week, things we banged our pinky toes on. I'm telling you, that could be an entire hour. I bang my pinky toe all the time. I'm surprised it's not like hanging out this way at this point because I've broken them several times. My ex is my pet peeve. Luna says people that correct me. Gotcha there. Lizzie says, I used to have a lot more when I was younger. Now my dominating peeve is willful and arrogant ignorance. Yes. Yes, yes. Mortimer says, I made a sparrow jump on my finger and leave a store. Okay, that's pretty cool. And Angela says, Grant got to witness it. He cried laughing. Hysterical. Okay, pet peeves for me. When somebody K's me, don't K me. I hate that. That and, hey, Aaliyah, you caught us right when we're wrapping up. Yay, I'm glad you were able to jump on. Share a pet peeve with us. That's what we're talking about right now. But yeah, like, and it's because of the person that originated the K. That's who I associate it with. And I hate the K and I hate the thumbs up. Because to me, it's just such a, unless, you're over a certain age. Like my dad does the thumbs up all the time, but he's almost 80. So he doesn't get it as a like, kind of like a dismissive thing. Because that's how I take both of those. I take them both as like a dismissive thing. That and people that say all of a sudden. It's all of a sudden. It's not all of a sudden. Okay. Anyway, now I'm getting nitpicky with my peeves. Lizzie says it was impressive. They had been trying for hours to get it out. He just walked up and it popped right onto his finger like a Disney princess. I was gonna say, like Snow White. Mortimer's just having little birdies land on his fingers. That's so cool. Tanya says people wearing their PJs in public, big pet peeve of mine. Yeah, that's become like common. And I don't understand when that flipped. I mean, like, I would, especially like kids, like my parents would have never let me leave the house like that. Like, and now it's like full grown adults just wandering around in their PJs. And it's like, okay. Cruelty and ignorance and hatred. Facts. Aaliyah says, people who talk for me without my permission. Yes, that's a good one. Oh my God, Angela, I peed a little. I know who that is. Hit him with the nomenclature. Yes, now you're just arguing nomenclature. And so severely it says, haha, I go nuclear. Yes. When people say nuclear instead of nuclear, wasn't that a George Bush thing? Like, I feel like there was a president who used the wrong one. Luna says animal cruelty, bullying, and stupid people. Facts, facts, facts. Yes. Anybody that's mean to animals, I don't understand. I don't want to know you, and you're going to burn in hell, because animals are the most pure beings on this earth, and I don't understand how anyone could be mean to an animal. Oh my goodness. I'm still laughing at him with the nomenclature. Oh boy. I'll have to tell that story another night because we're already at an hour and 10, but it's because I'm having so much fun and I love you guys. And I'm just so grateful that I didn't lose power tonight. It seems like the storm's gone through. I haven't heard any boomers in a bit. So grateful, very grateful that the electric and the internet stayed on so that I could hang out with you guys tonight. Super duper grateful that you all decided to spend your Wednesday with me, with little old me. I love you guys so much. I love our Wednesdays together, and this is so fun. Oh, excuse me. But alas, I am old and need to get to bed. So I'm going to hop off of here. But thank you again for joining me. And I'm sorry that you're late tonight, too, sweetie. But we'll be here, same bat time, same bat channel next week. So definitely join us and go back and watch what you missed this week. You can always hop in the comments after the fact. I love when, people watch it after the live and join the conversation. That's why it's so much fun. I'm so glad you did too. I love you too. Love all you guys. This is awesome. It's just a way to chit chat, have a great time, and I look forward to it every week. So until we get together next week, when life comes at you with its bullshit, you have to hit it head on because when you stick your head in the sand, you think you're hiding from your problems, but the rest of the world just sees a big ass. Love ya.